Hello, everybody. Hello, it is Tip Tuesday live, and you are here joining us on our channel, our YouTube channel. Perhaps you're in our online business builders group, or I'm also streaming it over on our business page. You gotta love StreamYard. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about doing business God's way because I've heard a lot of people lately really feeling a little out of sorts about how they sometimes feel they're a little sleazy or salesy. And if it's not them, it's people that they may be working with or associated with, and they're like, this just doesn't make me feel right. I don't like it. And then there's the next step of even being afraid to ask for money. And so if that's you guys, first of all, we're going to jump into some kingdom principles that we can build our business on here in just a second. But if that is you, stop it. Stop it, because you are in a business, and a business makes money. A good business makes money. Businesses that don't make money are going to go out of business. So you've got to set aside that fear or that block or whatever it is. And I know a couple people that are actually working with people with that particular issue. So if that is you, let me know. It is also, part of what David and I work with people on as well. And we'll talk about that as well at the end. But let's jump into it. When we're feeling, that we're maybe salesy or sleazy, and that's not a good thing. I want you to think for a second, how is it that you like to be sold when you're making a decision on who you're going to do business with? What is it that you look for in other people that you're going to buy for, that you're going to get your credit card out for, and you're going to invest in something, whether it be a car or a house or a coaching program or something, on a consumer level? How do you decide? And maybe that's a clue for how you want to show up. Remember, 87% of buyers are willing to invest above their budget if what is communicated to them is that desirable. Let yourself take a second to wrap your head around that. 87% of buyers are willing to pay more for something or go above, their budget if what is being offered them is exactly what they're looking for and is communicated to them in such a way. So what comes to mind, and I'm going to throw out some Bible verses because as I think of them, and this is one that comes to me regularly that I think might help you a little bit when you're thinking about who you want to be and how you're going to show up for your business. Ephesians 5:1 says, imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children. I love that. I love that. We are his children. And we're told right there to imitate him, to imitate God in everything, not just what we do on Sunday morning, not just what we do around our family. In everything we do, we are supposed to imitate God. So maybe you want to take that whole visioning thing a little bit further. How would God sell to you? What principles or what would that look like? So I've come up with, and I think I've borrowed this a little bit from some of my other, kingdom-based Christian business friends, and I didn't, I can't take full credit for this because like I did see it someplace and have added to it, but there's 10 powerful kingdom principles that if you've got them going on in your business, you can't help but have a God-honoring business. You're doing business God's way. You're bringing these principles that should be in our lives anyway as Christians, and you'll see what these all are in just a second. But we should be bringing these into our businesses too. And if you agree with that, I would love to hear from you, because that's how David and I roll. We want, to set ourselves apart from all the other business coaches out there that are doing the same thing. There's a lot of us out there, and you maybe even be asking yourself in your own business or niche, there may be a lot of other people that are doing the exact same thing. So what sets you apart? And for David and I, we want people to see us as being full of integrity, and to really bringing, those godly principles in. So what are they? If you got a piece of paper, you can write these down, or push replay or push repeat, whatever, if you're watching on the replay. First one is love. Love. Do you love what you do? Do you love your clients? Do you love your prospects? Do you love your product? We could talk about love. How are you showing that? Okay. Number 2, righteousness. Righteousness, being right with God. When you're right with God, doesn't everything seem to just be in alignment? When you're doing exactly what God has called you to do, you're being obedient to Him, doesn't everything just fall into place so much better than when you're trying to do it all yourself? Think about that. Number 3 is trust. Trust. Now you've heard this over and over. People are going to buy from you when they know, like, and trust you, right? Well, what does that mean when you come from a biblical or a Christian or a kingdom, focus? What does it mean to trust? You want people to be able to trust your word, right? When you're doing business God's way, you do what you say. You promise what you can deliver. And if you're like us, you have bought into some promises that you trusted that never panned out. Never panned out. So that's number 3. And I'm not sure there's any order of importance. I would think they're all pretty much equal. So number 4, stewardship. Stewardship. Now that's an interesting one when you think of business, but how are you giving back? I know when I do business with someone, then they say, for every download, I'm going to give such and such to this charity. I'm a lot more interested in doing business with that company. I can even think back to the Tom's shoes. Tom's shoes. For every pair of shoes bought, they will donate a pair of shoes to the less fortunate. I love that. So stewardship, it is taking care of what you get. So sharing it is good, yes, but how are you handling it? And we, in our Your Pathway to Profit, we talk about that at the end. That's the 12th step, is really making the most of all of that profit you have. And how can you make it work for you? How can you expand that? How can you help the world? So 4 is stewardship. And then 5 is humility. Humility. Are you out there boasting? None of us really like that. And I think that is exactly when we think of the sleazy, salesy people out there, they're not humble. They're out there being annoying. So if you can bring some humility, some humbleness to your business, to your message, to your brand, that's what this powerful kingdom principle is all about. Number 6, servanthood. I've often introduced myself, I'm a servant leader. What does that mean? We can look to Jesus. Jesus was the servant. He gave us the example to follow. Did he take? I don't think so. The Jesus I know gives and gives and gives some more, and doesn't expect anything in return. So when I think of being a servant, I'm giving. I love to give away things for free. In fact, I've been told by our coach that, hey, stop doing that. Your business could make a lot more money if you stopped doing that and started, taking cash for things that you've been giving away for years. So that's something I'm working on. I'm working on that one. Number 7, simplicity. Simplicity. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. Think of the first disciples and how they lived. Were they living in fancy houses? Were they, trying, they had a lot of stuff they had to get done, but they had simple lives. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Simple will sell the day as well. Number 8 is peace. And again, I think this kind of comes back to being happy with what you're doing. Are you peaceful? Would you say that in your business you find peace? Why not? Why not? What could you be doing in your business to make it more peaceful, more serene? There's some things we can all work on here. I'm going to share another Bible verse. This one's from 2 Corinthians 9, verse 8. And God will generously provide all you need. Then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others. Isn't that beautiful? 2 Corinthians 9, 8. So God is giving generously to us. This kind of goes back to the stewardship, right? That was number 4. But I wanted to read it then. I apologize. But everything we need, we'll always have everything we need. So we have plenty left over to share. And if we have everything we need, we'll certainly have peace. And then number 9, why did I put 3? Number 9 is joy. Joy. Bring some joy to your business. Bring some fun. And you'll notice that when you come with that attitude of gratitude and joy, it all just kind of flows. So you can see that's a kingdom principle that you can bring to your business. And number 10 is integrity or honor. And again, that's one of our top 3 branding principles is integrity. David and I never want to make a promise that we can't keep. And we've got, guarantees in place for that. So if you don't get what you're expecting or what we promise, then you don't pay. So how can you become more, or which of these principles are you kind of a work in progress on? I've admitted that I'm a work in progress on more than one of these for sure. Bringing this kind of principle, these kingdom principles, Christian-based principles into business can only help in shining our light for one, and also, attracting the right people to us. Remember when we talked at the very beginning about what is it that you look for in someone that you're going to do business with? People are out there looking for you because you do business the way you do. How do you want to shine your light? Well, I hope that this was helpful for you. Another verse I'm going to close here with is 2 Corinthians 10:5, and that's we destroy every proud obstacle that keeps people from knowing God. There are obstacles for us knowing God. We get busy, there's things, deadlines, all these things. In our businesses, though, we want to make sure that we don't let those obstacles get in the way at all. And that's partly why David and I have devoted this season of our lives to helping people who are building businesses online, just like us, primarily second career Christians, maybe they're coaches, affiliate marketers, course creators. We've done all of that. So we're able to show others how to do that. But with Your Pathway to Profit, that's our program, we're able to walk you step by step and show you exactly what you need to be doing when, so that you're not overwhelmed by a whole mess of tasks need to get done at some point. We give you the clarity so okay, this is what I work on this week and next week and week after. And you never have to guess ever again. We each are building our business our own way. We each have our own path. And so for us to follow what other people have done and do it exactly that way, that we're maybe not succeed doing it their way, right? But when you can work with coaches like us who know the pathway, but know that everybody's journey is different, and we can help you figure out what is the best for your business using some of these kingdom principles, so that you're forever sure that you are on the right path, that you are in total alignment with the person that God has designed you to be. And if you're interested in figuring out where you are on that pathway, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with all of the tasks and not feeling like you're getting where you'd like to be fast enough, put call in the comments or reach out to me privately. There's all kinds of ways you can reach out, and I will even put a link to a call in the notes over on YouTube. So schedule that call. It's complimentary. At some point we'll be charging for them, but for right now, we're doing some complimentary calls. Get one of those, figure out where your business is going, and see if you can really hone in on some of the kingdom principles that I've shared with you today. So until next time, be safe, be well, and be blessed.